Swamin namaste natalokabandho karunya sindho patitam bhavabdhau mamuddharatmiya kataksha drishtya rijvyati karunya sudhabhibristya. Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste, Swamin namaste. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhididitam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam shrimadatatam bhuvi grinanti te bhurida janaha tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhididitam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam shrimadatatam bhuvi grinanti te bhurida janaha virachitabhayam vrishnidhuriyate charanamiyusham samsriterbhayat karasaroruham kantakamadam chirasidhehinaha shrikaragraham virachitabhayam vrishnidhuriyate charanamiyusham samsriterbhayat karasaroruham kantakamadam shirasidhehinaha shrikaragraham. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. So we learn these two slokas today. Sanjay will show them. Tava kathamritam, say, Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhididitam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam shrimadatatam bhuvi grinanti te bhuvi grinanti ye bhurida janaha. Again, I'll sing a little high. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhididitam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam shrimadatatam bhuvi grinanti ye bhurida janaha tava kathamritam tapta jivanam Kavibhididitam
Kavibhididitam
Kalmashapaham
Kalmashapaham
Shravanamangalam
Shravanamangalam
Srimadaatatam
Srimadatakam
Bhuvi grinantiye
Bhuvi grinantiye
Bhurida janaha
Bhurida janaha.
We'll chant together. Will you be able to chant? Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhididitam kalmashapaham shravanamangalam srimadaatatam bhuvi grinantiye bhurida janaha. What is the meaning? Tava kathamritam. Tava means your. The nectar of your excellences. What all God has done, who God is, His glory, His deed, His sports, all that. Tapta jivanam. It revives the scorched spirit of man. Man, we are always feeling what? Scorched means what? We are scorched by our doubts, our fears, our anxieties and all that. So when we hear the stories of God, His excellences, His sports, then what happens? We feel as if we have been revived. And Kabhibhididitam, who tells us these? It is extolled by the holy men. Who can tell about God? It is told by the holy people. And what are these? Kalmashapaham. It purifies the sinner, all the sins. I told you who is a guru, who is a holy man, who is a realized man. Shrotriyaha abrijinaha. He has no sin. He is pure. So these kathamritas, when we hear about God, hear about the self, hear about Brahman, what is our mind's potential to understand, to realize this, to realize our own real identity. So when we start thinking like this, it is kalmashapaham. It takes away all the impurities of the mind. That is, all the constrictions of the mind are gone. Because the mind starts becoming lofty and loftier. Shravana Mangalam. It is very, very auspicious to hear. When we hear, all of you, why have you come here? To hear something good. So that the mind becomes peaceful. So that the mind becomes spirited. And it starts feeling that there is no fear at all. It starts having a lot of confidence and hope in this life. So Shravana Mangalam, it is auspicious to hear. Srimadaatatam, and which is excellent and which pervades far and wide. Excellent to hear, and whatever is the glory, it is far and wide. Say everywhere. Whoever, all these scriptures, everywhere in this world, these are read, contemplated upon, spread to others, far and wide. Ye bhuvi grinanti, those who sing these stories of Lord, the Supreme Being, the glories of the Lord, the excellence of the Lord, those who sing this, that is, those who sing and explain in this world, bhurida janaha, they are the best gift makers. They are giving the best of gift. We may give you a gift. So when you come, we make very good food and we give you some, folders and all that. Some books also we give. We may give you some dresses. We may take you around everywhere in our ashram, show this, show that. Yesterday we were saying that go and see the Nishagandhi. Everything we may do. But what is this? This Kathamrita, when we explain this, tell you, that is the best of gift. And those people, there are some people who go around. They go from here to there. They travel all around the world. Or whoever comes to them, they talk about God. So they are giving you a gift actually. What is that gift? It's not a material gift. It is a gift of the mind, for the mind, to preserve it. And that gift will never decay. All other gifts will become old and will die down. Will have no value for us after some time. We'll need another gift. This is something which will always be there with us. And it will remain with us in newer and newer form. So, this is what? Tava Kathamritam. Now we have to value this. Right? We have to value whatever gift we are getting from our gurus, from our scriptures, we must value. Value comparing it with every other thing that we get in life. We may get a lot of money, lot of possessions, property, name, fame, recognition, prestige, good family, good children, everything. We must value that this is what is the Supreme. Virachita bhayam vrishni dhuriyate charanamiyusham samsriter bhayat karasaroruham kantakamadam shirasi dhehinah shri karagraham. Don't write, you'll get it. This first one was Srimad Bhagavatam 10.31.9. 10.31.9. And the second one, which I am saying now, is 10.31.5. That is 10th Skandha, 31st chapter, and 5th sloka and 9th sloka. Virachita bhayam vrishni dhuriyate. It's very good. Sing. You will be able to say. Virachita bhayam vrishni dhuriyate charanamiyusham samsriter bhayat karasaroruham kantakamadam shirasi dhehinah shri karagraham. Virachita bhayam vrishni dhuriyate charanamiyusham samsriter bhayat karasaroruham kantakamadam shirasi dhehinah shri karagraham. Once more. Virachita bhayam. You are doing it very well. Vrishni dhuriyate charanamiyusham samsriter bhayat karasaroruham kantakamadam shirasi dhehinah shri karagraham. Vrishnidhurya, oh, the greatest of the Yadu's clan, the Yaduvamsha, Vrishnivamsha, all these are Sri Krishna's lineage. So they are calling, this is Gopika Geetam actually. The Gopikas, when they did not see Krishna, they are singing this. There are many shlokas are there, out of which I have taken 2. So they are calling Krishna and saying, oh, the greatest of Yadu's clan, oh, charmer of our hearts, Kanta, oh, charmer of our hearts. Actually, he should become charmer of our hearts. Who is charmer of our hearts? Huh? Husband, wife, children, grandchildren, property, things. These are what charmer of our hearts. But for the Gopikas, why they were able to sing Gayanti chaina manurakta dhiyo shrukantyo. Why? Because for them, Krishna is the charmer of the heart. And who is Krishna actually? It is the self. He is the self. So, he's calling, O charmer of our hearts, Naha Shirasi Dehi, please place on our heads, Shirasi Dehi, please place on our heads, Karasaroruham, your lotus-like hands. Your lotus-like hands, please keep on our heads. When we go to some guru, even to some elders, don't we say, please keep your hand on our head? Why? We want to be nirbhaya. This bhaya, this fear, anxiety, tension, we are always surrounded by that. We want to be surrounded by what? Nirbhayatva. And that is what Sri Krishna, Govinda gives us. Govinda parirambhitaha. We should feel that we are surrounded by his protection. He is always there with us. Actually, he is always there with us. So, please place on our heads Karasaroruham, Shri Karagraham. And they are describing the hands, the lotus-like hands. What are those hands? Those hands, they have held Sri Lakshmi's hands in wedlock. That is, Krishna is married to Radha, or Sri Lakshmi. So, Sri Lakshmi, he has taken the hands of Sri Lakshmi in wedlock. Sri Karagraham, Virachita Bhayam. And these hands give us what? Grants fearlessness. Grants fearlessness. Samsritehe bhayat. What fear we have? The fear of worldliness. The worldliness actually makes us feel so constricted. Always lack of peace, always lack of restfulness. Samsritehe bhayat, from the fear of worldliness. Te sharanam iyushim kamadam. To all those who take your refuge, these hands. What are these hands? He is describing the hands, your lotus-like hands, which hold the hands of Sri Lakshmi, and which gives fearlessness to whom? To those who are afraid of the worldliness of this world, and those who have taken refuge at your feet. You remove their fearlessness. You remove their fear, and you grant them all that they wish. These hands not only take away the fear, it also grants the boons that everybody wants. Is it not very good? You know what? We should always think, wherever we are, his hands are on our head. He is embracing us. There is no fear, no fear. If we try to do like this and think like this and make it a habit, we'll become fearless. How do we think? We are chanting every day in our Pushpa Samarpanam. Yatraiva mano madiyam tatraiva tava swarupam yatraiva shiro madiyam tatraiva padadvayam te. Yatraiva mano madiyam. Our body may go here and there. Now we are sitting here. Some time back, from morning you have been attending many sessions. You went for food. Maybe you went to your room. Maybe you took some rest and took bath, dressed up. Again you have come here, and the whole day will pass. The mind is going with us. But the mind, we need not make the mind go to such thoughts which is not focused on God, or We may think, wherever the mind goes, we see God. Wherever the mind goes, whether in happiness, in unhappiness, in likes and dislikes, in lethargy and non-lethargy, whatever we think, all our thoughts, we can feel that my mind is yatraiva yatraiva manomadiyam tatraiva tatraiva tavasvarupam. That is, the mind is seeing Him and Him alone. My dear children, it is a practice. We should practice. It's not that we sing once or twice, or what we do, regularly chanting. This regular chanting, it has its disadvantage. What? It becomes mechanical. But if you make a habit, even the regular chanting, even the chanting of Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Om Namah Sadashivaya, make it vibrant with your feelings. Then only it will become Tavasvarupam. Otherwise, those are just words. Yatraiva yatraiva manomadiyam tatraiva tatraiva tavasvarupam. As if I am able to see. Yatraiva yatraiva shiromadiyam tatraiva tatraiva padadvayam te. And when the body is going around, wherever we go, wherever my head is, whether it is up, down, or we are looking this way, that way, everywhere He is. Everywhere He is. If we think this truth, it is truth, and it is the truth. What is the truth? That God, Brahman, is everywhere, all pervading. It is the presence, that one presence, one consciousness. And devotionally we say God. It is the one. That one is everywhere. So wherever the mind is, He is. If we can give it a form, it is a form. Wherever the head is, that how can there be anything else apart from Him? So, yatraiva yatraiva shiromadiyam tatraiva tatraiva padadvayam te. It is very nice to think like this. We become humble. We become humble. When we find the feet of a Sadguru, a realized master, elders whom we respect, what do? We touch the feet. Do we touch the feet just by custom? We should not do that. When we touch the feet of anybody, it should be with humility, surrender, love, respect. So, yatraiva yatraiva manomadiyam tatraiva tatraiva tavasvarupam yatraiva yatraiva shiromadiyam tatraiva tatraiva padadvayam te. That sing it, sing it, sing it. You will find that you will become that. Become that. It is not that every day you do the morning prayers and evening prayers. Many devotees, after coming to the ashram, they say that in the house also we do the morning and evening prayers. It is very good. Good compared to not doing it. But you should be very, very attentive that it should not be just a routine. That we start the morning prayer and we just think, and when it will be over, then we'll have to get ready and go out to a party. This is what happens. Then still I would say that it is good. Still I say that it is good. Because at least you are doing that. At least you are taking to that austerity. Every day. To do everything every day is a great austerity. Some devotees would tell us, they don't tell us now, earlier they used to tell us, say that, don't you get bored? Every day the same shlokas you are chanting. Don't you get bored? Why don't you change it? Every month you can change the shlokas. Then we said that we don't chant. We chant it with so much of feeling that we don't get bored. We should chant it with feelings. Then we'll never get bored. Why are we wanting to change it? Because we don't find the prana in the shlokas. We don't find it. That is why we feel that, if this is another shloka, we'll be very, very happy. When the visitors have come, gone, next time when they come, they find new set of shlokas. It will be very good. This new, learning new. Even the Shastras, only one concept is enough. So, I'm just remembering, in the earlier days, Swamiji was teaching us Upanishad. So we decided that class will be from 9:30 to 10:30. Those days Swamiji was very active. Every day morning he will take a round of the whole ashram, and in the ashram always there is some work going, something or other, some construction or other will be going on. So there used to be mason, carpenters working, and he had a great interest in going and seeing the work. So many coconut trees, whether the coconut trees are getting watered or not. In this season, coconut trees are manured. They will be dug. The base will be dug. Then all the green leaves will be, branches will be, all the trees will be cut. All the green leaves will be put in that pit. Then cow dung will be put. Maybe some salt or something is put and then covered. So it's a big operation. He used to go and looking after these. So he himself told all the workers, it was the old building, so there was a veranda, just like you have the veranda now, and the workers, and we didn't have this hall, so our veranda was everything for us. It was the meeting place, it was the satsang place, it was a classroom, it was even when some program was there, even Gurupoornima, Swamiji's birthday, where people would assemble, that was our feeding place also. So, our class used to be held in the veranda. So Swamiji himself told all the workers that, see, I'm going to take classes from 9:30 to 10:30. Don't disturb me at that time. So they also understood. And if Swamiji is, say, sitting with the carpenters, discussing something or just seeing how he is sawing the log, they will say, Swamiji, bell has gone. Please go to the class. So Swamiji would come back. But it started happening, maybe Swamiji was taking Mundakopanishad at that time. So something was there, he was getting late every day. So every day 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So what we will do, very few of us, so we will chant all the slokas that he has taken and then sit for him, wait for him, he is not coming. And slowly, the gap would be more and more. So we'll be sitting and sitting. I used to get very frustrated because the yearning to learn the Upanishad was so much, very frustrated. Sometimes feel like weeping. Sometimes feel that, what is this? He is not understanding that we are wanting to learn. So a lot of, inside, maybe complaints, then frustration, all that. So one day it was very late. Only maybe 20 minutes of the class was left. And Swamiji he's a Jivan Mukta person. So Jivan Muktas will come, it doesn't matter to him. So he came and sat down and took the book and started. So that day I just expressed. I said, Swamiji, every day you are late. And see, we have chanted it twice, all the slokas. And we are sitting and waiting for you every day. Don't you understand how much we want to learn all these things? So that day Swamiji just looked at me. Swamiji would look at me like this and then he said, I have taught many slokas. Have you learned them? Have you mastered them? Why are you complaining? Do you understand? So much has been taught. So we should learn and master it. But what remains in the mind is that a new one. Let me finish Mundakopanishad, then Mandukopanishad. Maybe after that another Upanishad. So that we can say, I know all the Upanishads. I have learnt all. I have learnt all the Shastras. So this is the general nature of human beings. But as a seeker, what is necessary? Yes, you learn. But have you mastered it? Have you got established all the scriptures together, what it is wanting to tell us? That you are the soul, you are changeless. Have you got established into that knowledge? What have you done for that? Have you done anything? So, I just remembered while telling you, this is what we should always remember. Routine is very good, but we should not get stuck to the routine. Some people, they are so much obsessed with the routine that if anybody disturbs that routine, they get annoyed. As a seeker, as a devotee, we are not supposed to be annoyed. We should be accepting everything. So, now, in Prahlada, there is in Prahlada that Hiranyakashipu was killed. Hiranyakashipu was Prahlada's father. I think most of you know. And then Hiranyakashipu was a great enemy of Mahavishnu. So ultimately he was abusing him, asking him, where is your Sri Hari? Is he in this pillar? And the poor boy said, yes, he is in this pillar. So Hiranyakashipu struck that pillar, and from there Narasimha or Narahari emerged and killed Hiranyakashipu. He had come with so much of rage because he is bhakta. Prahlada is a bhakta. And Hiranyakashipu was torturing him like anything. But Prahlada was never angry with the father. He was only standing with folded hands. So Narasimha came out and he was heaving, This Hiranyakashipu, he was very cunning and very clever. He got a boon from Brahma that nobody should be, he did penance, and the boon he asked for was, nobody should be able to kill me. Not a human being, not an animal. I should not be killed in the sky or on the earth. I should not be killed in the day or the night. I should not be killed by any weapon made of these things. So he had made his boon in such a manner that nobody can kill him. So what Narasimha did, he took the body, he overpowered Hiranyakashipu, put him on his lap, so neither in the sky nor on the earth. And it was a time when it was neither day nor night. Also, he himself has taken Narasimha Rupa, neither man nor animal. And the weapons, he tore his abdomen with the nails. So the weapon is also not made of whatever he had told. So Hiranyakashipu had been killed. But with so much of rage, he was heaving. And all the devatas, all the Muni Rishis, everybody around, they were so frightened looking at it. So Brahma said, the devatas came to Brahma, please go and pacify him. Brahma said, no, I cannot do it. So then they went to Sri Lakshmi, that Lakshmi Devi, he is your husband, please go and pacify him. She said, I have never seen this kind of a rupa. So then Brahma told Prahlada, little boy, for you, he has taken this form. So you go and try to pacify him. He was absolutely pure. He did not feel that, this person has killed my father. His devotion was such. So he went, and Narasimha was heaving, and he just fell at his feet, a straight, long pranam. Narasimha suddenly found a touch on his feet, small hands, little boy, very soft hands. And then he looked, a small boy is prostrating at his feet. So he, with his own hands, he lifted him up and kept his hand on the head of Prahlada. This shloka, whenever I read, I shed tears. This is what we want. This feeling of abhaya from anybody. We are fearful. Bhoge roga bhayam, kule চ্যুতি bhayam, vitte nripalad bhayam, mane dainya bhayam, bale ripu bhayam, Rupe jaraya bhayam, shastre vadi bhayam, gune khala bhayam, kaye kritantad bhayam, sarvam vastu bhayanvitam, bhuvinrinam vairagyameva bhayam. Many have heard this, and for some it may be new. It is by Bhartrihari. It says, Bhartrihari Vairagya Shatakam. What does it say? That we are surrounded by fear. What is the fear? Bhoge roga bhayam. In bhoga, no, look at me. Bhoge roga bhayam. Bhoga means enjoyment. Suppose we have a lot of money and we feel that we now will be able to enjoy. We have earned well and we have dreams of our life. We want to keep the family in a very nice, comfortable manner. So now we can go here, go there, planning so many things. What is the bhaya? What is the fear? Roga bhayam. Suppose one of the family members has some kind of sickness, and if the sickness is very critical, then all enjoyment gone, all happiness gone. Bhoge roga bhayam kule tyuti bhayam. Suppose you belong to a very good lineage, very good family. Always there is a fear that nobody in the family should tarnish the name of the family. Vitte nripalad bhayam. And if you have lot of money, then what will happen? Those days it was nripalad bhayam. The king would come and take away the money. And nowadays it is income tax. Income tax. Or even, it may be, you may be robbed of money. You may lose money in your business. So there is a bhaya. Whenever there is money, always it is a task to preserve the money and to make it more and more. And then always a fear whether it will be gone. And also a fear whether your sons and daughters, they will waste the money. So with money, this is the fear. Vitte nripalad bhayam, mane dainya bhayam. Suppose you have honor and respect, always there will be a fear that if I am disrespected, dishonored, what will happen? And for no little reason, we feel disrespected also. So, mane dainya bhayam, bale ripu bhayam. And if one is strong, there will be always a fear that there may be a person stronger than me and will make me feel that I am not that strong. Bale ripu bhayam, rupe jaraya bhayam. That is, even if you do not have all these bhayas, rupe jaraya bhayam. Everybody will be feeling that, oh, I am becoming old. Oh, there is a gray hair. Oh, there is a wrinkle. Oh, there is, when we become old, we are not able to do many things which we were able to do earlier. When I was young, we were staying in second floor. So whenever I will go with my mother somewhere and we'll come back, I will run up the staircase and press the calling bell. And my mother is still in the second or third step. So I would be thinking, why she is coming so slow? Did not understand that it happens to everybody when you become old. You will not be able to do things which you can do earlier. Rupe jaraya bhayam. And some people, they are so much obsessive and about the health, body, etc. It's a fear, real fear for them. Rupe jaraya bhayam. Then Shastre vadi bhayam. If you are learned, then always there is a fear that somebody will be more learned and your name and fame that he is a very scholarly person will be gone. Shastre vadi bhayam gune khala bhayam. There may be people, if you have lot of good qualities, you are known by that. There may be people who vilify your name. Then kaye kritantad bhayam. And the ultimate is what? All embodied beings, there is a fear of death. Either death of oneself or death of near and dear ones. So whole life is full of lot of fear. Sarvam vastu bhayanvitam. If you look like this, you think more and introspect more, you will find that everywhere. Even if we get some happiness, along with that there is a fear. So, sarvam vastu bhayanvitam, bhuvi nrinam, for men in this world, bhuvi means in this world, nrinam for men, women, human beings, there is bhaya, there is fear. What is fearlessness then? Vairagyam. Dispassion. Dispassion doesn't mean that you have to run away from the family and go to a cave or a forest. That is, don't have clinging, don't have particular ideas, don't have preconceived notions, don't have a very particular plan for your life. Anything may happen. So, if we get rid of this delusion and clinging or attachments, that is Vairagya. Be disinterested to many, many things. Whatever is absolutely necessary, we have to do that. Rest of the things we are planning for our future, thinking of our past, all those not necessary. So, this, I was telling you about this Prahlada and this Abhaya. Abhaya is what we always, all of us, we want to have. Now, the thing is that we want to know what should we practice. Say you are hearing this. You may be hearing, many of you are hearing the global satsangs also. But what kind of attitudes we must have throughout our life, in our day-to-day life, so that we go a little towards feeling God everywhere, seeing God everywhere, feeling this fearlessness. So, there is one, once I asked Swamiji, long back, I was telling you yesterday also, I used to come and ask him, it's not possible to think of God or think of contemplate on Brahman, doing household work or domestic work or any other work. How do we do it? And he told me about the Gopikas. But however much we try to do it, again the question comes, what is the hindrance? Why do we fall from that? So one day I was asking Swamiji, please tell me, I'll read out from this. I asked Swamiji, please tell me, remaining in this world and in the midst of ordinary day-to-day life, doing lot of activities, whatever we do, what kind of thoughts will help me to reach the subject level, that is, to remain connected with the soul, the self, and feel God's presence around me everywhere. Did you understand the question? What I would like to tell you is that this kind of questions should be there in your minds. I was saying that routine is very good, but routine should not be mechanical. We must apply our mind and intelligence to even question that routine. That every day I am praying, every day I am taking God's name. But why is it that I am still fearful? Why is it that I become unhappy at times? Why is it that I blame somebody at times? Why is it that I brood over things? Why is it that I am not able to accept whatever comes in my life? Then what is the use of these routines? Why are we listening? Why are we contemplating? Why are we learning? Why are we studying? Why? What we should do so that I myself feel that there is change in me. I am growing. I have, whatever I was earlier, I feel that I have progressed a little bit. So I went and asked him this question, that what should we do in our day-to-day life? Then Swamiji said, think that everything is laden with God. This was his reply. I was not satisfied. I was not satisfied. What does it mean, laden with God? Then I said, Swamiji, what is understood really by thinking everything is laden by God? What should I think, say, when I'm standing in Swamiji's room? I'm seeing his books. I'm seeing the newly painted rack in this room. I'm seeing Swamiji himself and Swamiji's cot. What thoughts should I dwell in? So I must have gone to Swamiji's room. He must have been sitting on his chair, and I was having this conversation. And I asked this, I'm seeing your room, I'm seeing this, seeing that. What thought should I have? And again he said, think that everything is God-laden. Then he explained, for example, you are looking at me, especially at my toes. While looking at my toes, will you not particularly feel and think, these are Swamiji's toes? Similarly, when you are looking at the books or the bookshelf or the cot, are you not thinking that these are Swamiji's? I said, yes, that thought is coming to me because I am standing in your room, looking at your items. Then he said, okay, very good. Then looking at each and everything in this world, in every object, can you not also think of God similarly? That they are gods. Just like that looking at my things, you are feeling that these are Swamiji's, this belongs to Swamiji, that belongs to Swamiji, even Swamiji's feet, it belongs to Swamiji. What is the word coming to the mind? Swamiji. Similarly, when you look with all your senses, you perceive so many things. Can you not think that they belong to God? Now, you all are from your own houses. You should not think, Ma had a great opportunity to ask Swamiji this. In your houses you can do that. When you go from one room to another, maybe your daughter's room, your son's room, or the living room, wherever you go, you can think like this, that this belongs to my daughter, this belongs to my son. So similarly, when we look at the whole world, we should be thinking of God and God alone. And there is a shloka in Bhagavatam again, that is, what we have applied our mind and intelligence. With mind and intelligence, actually we are consciously not doing it, but we have applied. It is unconsciously making us say that this is Swamiji's. And then similarly, using that kind of knowledge, when you look at the world, think that everything is Brahman. Drishtim jnanamayim kritva pashyed brahmamayam jagat. This is what he told me. This is from Aparokshanubhuti. Drishtim jnanamayim kritva. So make your vision, your drishti, jnanamayim. What is jnanamayim? What is the jnana? What is the knowledge? The knowledge is everywhere is the self or Brahman alone. That knowledge all of you have. All of us have that knowledge. That God is all-pervading, Brahman is all-pervading. So with that knowledge, let it not remain just as a knowledge which you have acquired. You have to now apply that knowledge. Pashyed brahmamayam jagat. So when you look at the whole world, you look at it as the Brahman. That is, understand that all the plurality that we see through our senses, it's all based on that one presence, the one consciousness, the Brahman. Tell your mind to think like this, to give you that remembrance, to make it a habit. And slowly what will happen? Many things. First we make a habit and then it becomes our system. Say 2 plus 5, 7. Initially we have to count in our fingers, or maybe put our fingers like this and count. At that time, if a student is not able to count like that, he will be scolded by the teacher. After some time, the teacher will say mentally. So 2 plus 5, mentally we have to say. This mentally saying, how many times we say, and saying, even the tables, we are able to immediately say, wow, because it has gone into our system. Similarly, this should get into our system. We should live it. It will become the system. It's not like mathematics actually. Here, how it goes into your system, you start behaving like a person who is a jnani. Maybe 1 or 2 qualities of the jnani. Not everything we might not have got, it will take time. But at least a few qualities of a jnani, a few qualities of a bhakta. So he said that. So I was telling about one sloka from Bhagavatam. That is, Kham vayumagnim salilam mahim cha jyotim shi sattvani disho drumadin sarit samudramscha hare shariram yatkincha bhutam praname dananyaha kham vayumagnim salilam mahim cha. This also you should, I will make you recite. Kham vayumagnim, no, first you listen. Kham vayumagnim salilam mahim cha jyotim shi sattvani disho drumadin sarit samudramscha hare shariram yatkincha bhutam praname dananyaha. It says kham. Kham is akasha, space. Vayu is vayu, wind. Agni is fire. Salilam is water. Mahim is earth. So this Panchabhuta. Kham vayu magnim salilam mahim cha. Jyotim shi. There is the celestial objects in the sky. There are so many stars, planets, sun, moon, etc. are there. Galaxies are there. All that. Jyotimshi Sattvani, all the creatures which are created. Dishaha, all the directions, not only in my front, everywhere, all the directions. Disho Drumadin, and all the trees and planets. Sarit is river, Samudramscha, and the oceans. So everything we have covered in the earth. We have covered the Panchabhuta, we have covered all the directions, we went up to the celestial objects and the rivers, the oceans, everything we have covered. Trees, plants, everything. What are these? And Hare Shariram. It is the body of the Supreme Being. Because He is there. He alone is there. So if you feel that it is a body, He is everywhere, pervaded. So everything He is pervading, it is His body. And if it is so, then what we should do? If I look at you, I should be doing like this. Pranamed ananyaha yatraiva manomadiyam tatraiva tavasvarupam. Wherever I look, whether I look at this light or the board or this camera or this stand or all of you, the chairs, the fans, everywhere it is He and He alone. We have to think. We cannot just read and feel very happy and leave it. We have to think. When we sit quietly, we should think. That is called contemplation. We have to think. So pranamed ananyaha. When we do pranam, what happens? Humility. Just like when we go to the temple, just look at it. The temple, there is an idol. What is this idol? It is made of stone. Where from the stone has come? From some mountain or hill. When we look at the hill, we are not feeling it is God. But an idol which has been made from the hill, or when it is put in that temple, we are going and doing this thing. What is this sloka saying? Not necessary. You go and do a temple puja. Understand that looking at the hill also you should do like this. Looking at the earth also you should do like this. Looking everywhere we should do like this. That is how we should be. See, my topic is what? Being anchored, how to remain anchored in divinity. This is how. This is how. Divinity. And, actually, if one is a sincere seeker, should go around everywhere and do pranam to everybody. In our satram, there is one devotee, old devotee. In the satram there will be, there is a Bhagavata satram. I don't know whether you youngsters know it. In December there is a very big mega program. The Bhagavata is, so many lectures will be there on the Srimad Bhagavatam from beginning to end. So, and every day Swamiji takes out a Nama Sankirtana. The hall is very, very big. About 3,000 people can sit. So he will he will just go along with Harinama Nama Sankirtan. People, children, sannyasins, then young people, old people, middle-aged people, families, they all will follow him. The very, very beautiful atmosphere, very beautiful, devotional atmosphere. So there, sometimes these ladies will be dancing, children will be dancing, and once I saw one old lady, maybe she couldn't walk anymore. She is just standing at one place. And what she is doing, she is sitting down, kneeling down, getting up and doing pranam. Whosoever is passing in her front, he's doing pranam. So when I saw that, I immediately remembered this. Praname dhananya. When the mind is filled with bhakti, I think she was seeing God everywhere, in everybody. So she was doing like this. So this is what we should do. Then I told Swamiji, I know Swamiji. I have so much of devotion and love and respect for Swamiji. So I have no difficulty to think that everything belongs to Swamiji. So when I come to your room, my mind automatically is thinking that these are all Swamiji's. But it is not easy to think everything is of God, belongs to God. I have never seen God. I do not even love Him. I do not even know whether there is love. Or even if I feel love, I find that my mind goes to other things also. It is not having that one-pointed love for Him. So it is very difficult to, as soon as I see other things, to immediately feel that this belongs to God. How will I do this? Then Swamiji said, the reply to this is to sing the glory of God, to listen about Him, to remember Him, and to think about Him. How will we love somebody? How will we love? See, say cricketers, film stars. Film stars tell you, whomever you have not come in close contact, you are just hearing them. Some very big scientists, we become fans and we start adoring them, appreciating them, and sometimes keeping photos, etc. Some kind of love should be there. Why? How? Because we are thinking about them. So about God, whom we have not seen, how to grow that kind of a fondness, that kind of a love, that we feel like keeping some photographs or singing His name. So, he said that to listen about Him, singing the glory, to remember Him and think about Him. This is what Shukamuni told Parikshit, that if you want to get fearlessness, He is the one, God, the Supreme Being. Shrotavyaha kirtitavyascha smartavyaha chet ichchata abhayam. If you want abhayam, fearlessness, then you must hear about Him, you must sing about Him, sing His glory, and you must remember him. So that is what one thing that we should do, to be anchored. How will we do it? Some of these slokas are there. Some of these, these slokas are not very beautiful, very deep concepts. You have to just remember them and chant them and feel them. Feel them. Maybe when you feel them sitting somewhere, you will feel very, very nice and blissful. When you get up and go into activity, you will find that all have gone. You are not able to apply it. But that will need a lot of effort and practice. So, how do we love God? We must have Rupa Chintana, thinking of his form. Some will be happy to think about Krishna, some may be Shiva, some may be Ganesha. If you do not want to think of a form, don't think of a form. It is just the presence you think, the soul you think, Brahman you think, whatever it is. But what you should think, if you are feeling about God, then his Rupa, his Guna, that is his qualities, and what excellences he has done in a devotional style. If you want to think only of Brahman, then the attributes of Brahman, the qualities of Brahman, those who have realized the Jivan Muktas, what are their qualities? Love them, and in whichever way you think, you must think of purity of the mind. Purity of the mind. Because God is purity. Wherever there is purity, wherever there is desirelessness, because only when there is desirelessness of the mind, lack of possessiveness, lack of ego, then the mind becomes pure. And in the pure mind, what happens? Self reveals itself. Swamiji was telling in that Prabhatalashmi, muddy water and clear water. So our mind becomes muddy. By what? By lot of thoughts which are unnecessary, lot of desires which are unnecessary, and lot of these traits which are undesirable. We ourselves find that we are bound by those traits. It makes us very constricted. Then Swamiji says, the success of any seeker to begin with, it is viveka, vairagya, etc. But eventually, one must dissolve the difference between spirituality and not spirituality. That is, everywhere you see spirituality, everywhere you feel divinity. Now, generally what? Say this is a very divine atmosphere. But when you go and start doing your other regular work in the ashram itself, it will not be so. So we are trying to see how this, when you are listening, or you are in the presence of, say, we sannyasis, especially Swamiji, what is your feeling? How to preserve that? So Swamiji is saying, so we see everything as God. And said, this is a formula. There is a formula. Swamiji is saying, son of a rich man is evidently rich. Son of a human mother is a human. So we know that we are created by God. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattas sarvam pravartate. Krishna is telling Arjuna that from me everything has come out. And every activity, that is also from me, because of me. So knowing this, having faith in this, my dear children, that faith is absolutely important. What is the faith? Faith in the scriptures, faith in the gurus, those who are telling you, that faith. So when you have this faith, that one we are produced or created by God. So we are godly. We have that godly dimension in us, which we call soul, which we call Atma, which is there as our real identity. But because of the desires, we simply put up a veil and we do not understand our real nature. So that is why Prahlada is saying what? Yat sarvatra tadishanam. You must see God everywhere and see Him, see in everything. And how do you think about that God? How do you remain in that? You have to sing about Him, listen about Him, read about Him, whatever makes you feel connected, whenever you have time. We don't have time. You all say that we are very busy. Especially the youngsters are very busy. We are also very busy. Very, very busy. You cannot even think when we go to sleep and when we get up. Without any rest also sometimes during the daytime. But how we are able to do this? Still remain connected? Don't think that right from beginning we were like that. But we have practiced. Every time we felt, oh, the connection is lost. Why it has been lost? Because of what has been lost? That was the quest, and that was the sadhana. If you ask me, I think that if I look back and now, everywhere, in every corner, whatever I do, I cannot do without thinking that it is Swamiji's. Anything. If I have to wipe a table, or if I have to fold something, not my clothes, maybe some other cloth, whatever, doing for anybody else or doing for myself or doing for a worker, everything, everywhere, in every corner of the ashram, I feel Swamiji. That is why it is said that it is faster had when you are in a Guru Sannidhi. Because this atmosphere is there, faster had. But when you are in the world, what you should do? In the world also we must think, as in the Shastras are saying, that everywhere He is. He is everywhere. So there also, whether you are doing things for your house people or the office people, if you like them, if you dislike them, everybody is God, and God is there. So anyway, so this purity of the mind, one has to understand that we have to become pure. So, okay, today I will take the questions, tomorrow I will do this. So one question was, Suresh, how can I see God in everyone until I haven't realized God within me? I think you got the reply. This was the reply. How can we see God? We have to constantly do this practice in seeing God in everything, everywhere. And you know, when Swamiji told me this, that when you look at me, when you look at my things, are you not seeing me? What are you thinking? I said, yes, Swamiji's. He said that, yes, as you are associating every other object which belongs to me, you are associating Swamiji. Similarly, when you are in the world, whatever you do, whatever you perceive, associate God with it. And I did that sadhana. I won't say that every time I was thinking, but whenever it struck me that, oh, I'm forgetting, this is what I should think, then the sadhana was done. And, you know, I'm a great lover of nature. I like to look at the sky, look at the rain, look at the leaves and the trees and the plants and the flowers and the butterflies and the squirrels and all that. So, and here we have nature in abundance. So looking at that, I would feel that, oh, all that is God. And not only that, just as I was saying, looking at this light, this board, this, that, everywhere, giving a thought, oh, there is that one single presence, and over that so many forms, and everything is godly, because everything is created from that. Whether mobile or immobile, whether living or non-living, everything is created by that. And what are we thinking? I started even looking at my own behavior, my own interaction, not only looking at objects, my own behavior, my own interaction. In that also, I started finding God. So what? Sometimes I will be happy, sometimes I'll be unhappy. So one day I thought that, just like the mind, when it is happy, it gets the touch of God. Oh, God is there. When the mind becomes unhappy, we feel absolutely doomed. But is it not that God is in both? Just like the day comes, if the whole world becomes lighted, and slowly in the evening, the sun sets and it becomes dark. Both are two forms of the same presence. So my mind's darkness also, suppose I am happy, it is lighted. And my mind, when it is dark, it is dark. So, there is no difference. It is the two forms of the same. So then, I was actually applying my own introspection, using my mind and intelligence, and then this knowledge becomes real. The knowledge, when it once becomes real, to get established in it, just a little more time will be necessary. So introspection is absolutely essential. Introspection is essential. So I would be, in everything, that would, suppose somebody has told something, there is lot of feeling of sadness or lot of feeling of hurt. Maybe there will be a little tear in the eyes also. Just think, this is also God's. Your tears will dry away, dry up. Because you are then taking recourse to the knowledge that you have gained. This is how we get in touch with God. Every time, everywhere, always, He's there. So, I think Suresh, this. Then Sneha. When does one become a devotee? Is true devotion a consequence of viveka and vairagya, or vice versa? Vice versa means you are saying viveka comes first and vairagya? Or, acha. Actually, this viveka, vairagya, these words, these are in the sadhana chatushtayam, Vedanta. Viveka, vairagya, then nitya vastu vivekaha, then ihamutra phala bhoga viragaha, then shamadamadi shatka sampattihi, and then mumuksha. All these are joined together. If you grow in one, you will find all others are growing. So it is not that you have viveka first and then vairagya. Both will be going joined, hand in hand. If you apply your viveka, only because we apply viveka that everything is fleeting. Everything is fleeting, so you become disinterested. So your vairagya grows. Similarly, when your vairagya grows, you are able to understand. When the vairagya grows, what happens? You are able to stand aloof from whatever is happening. And then you will understand what is true and what is false. What is conducive to your sadhana, what is not conducive to your sadhana. So now the question is, when does one become a devotee? Yes, very good question. Very good question. Actually, one should ask this. And yesterday I was telling you about bhakti. And I told you once, ahaituki and apratihata, 2 words. I've written it somewhere. Again I get lost with my notes and papers. Ahaituki and apratihata bhakti. This is in Bhagavatam, in the first chapter. I've forgotten to write the reference. In the beginning only it is there. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje ahaitukya pratihata yayatma samprasidati. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje ahaitukya pratihata yayatma samprasidati. It says the greatest, ultimate and the greatest work or the aim which any person in this world should have, the goal or aim which any person in this world should have, paraha dharmaha yataha bhakti radhokshaje. That is, because it is from Bhagavatam, so adhokshaja you learnt yesterday, adhokshaja is Sri Hari. One must develop supreme devotion for the Lord, the Supreme Lord. That is the highest duty of any human being. And what does it really mean, bhakti? If you are given to devotion, yes, devotion to God. And if you are given to, say, Vedanta, devotion to this path, the devotion should be wholesome, one-pointed, not having any other interest. The devotion should be full. And in bhakti language, it says, ahaituki apratihata bhakti. Ahaituki, I said, it is unconditional. You should not have any self-motive or any kind of condition for devotion. Your feeling should be that I cannot but have devotion. I am devoted. Whatever you do to me, whatever you bring to my life, adversities or good things, whatever you do, I am devoted to you. I do not want anything. Actually, such bhaktas, such bhaktas, they do not even want mukti. They say that we only want to serve you. We do not want anything. They say that we are so happy by being devoted and being serving. Serving means what? In remaining our day-to-day life, how do we feel that we are serving? It's not that we have gone to God or we have gone to the Guru and we have got some work to do as service to him. Not that. Wherever you are, it should be a service. Service to whom? Service to the Lord, who has created you, who has created your body, has given you the limbs, has given you the senses, has given you the prana, has given you the mind and intelligence to direct yourself, to think in a manner that what I do, everything is by his wish. As I was saying yesterday, even a mother cannot have any control on what kind of a child she is going to have. Similarly, we do not have a control. We may plan many things. We may plan. And many of the times, God is gracious enough to fulfill our wishes. But it may go wrong also. But it should be done like a service. What is the service? What is that way of working which God will feel is an offering to him? We must know. That is the way we should work. Right? We should work like that. So, ahaituki. Ahaituki is not for myself, for others. Now, if it is not for myself, that my mindness, all should go. And who becomes mine actually? Everybody else. Not my small family. Not my friends and relatives. Not even my extended family. Everybody else becomes my family. And we do work for them. That is why in the ashram, we get that opportunity. But you can do that remaining in your house also. Every day see, am I living only for my family? Am I working and thinking of others? So many things are happening in the world. So many people are dying. So many wars are going on. So much violence is going on. Is my mind praying for them, thinking for them? If it is mine, then I will be feeling, oh, my brother, my sister, my husband, my wife, my children, they should be protected. Are we praying for that? Every day praying that, oh God, let the poor people live a little better life. Let them get food. Thinking this. In Delhi last time in November, we were going out and giving warm dresses to street dwellers who were lying on the streets. And once or twice, all poor people. It was very, very strange. You feel that one bundle is lying and one bundle is on the footpath. You go and tap it, from that bundle a whole family has come out. So one day we went in the morning and we went under the flyovers. So many of I think they are some kind of gypsy like, they're going here, going there. They don't have any fixed place to stay. Very cold. So all of them got sweaters. And we had given to all age groups. It was a great challenge for us to gather the things, that is, buy the things of different age groups, boys, girls, men, women, small children. And another challenge that when we were taking the stock in our cars, when we see a boy, say about 12 years, we have to hunt out a proper size for that boy. So what was happening one day, one of the days when we went in the night, few boys we found. So seeing a boy, we took out a sweater and gave. The boy immediately wore it. It was very tight for him. So it went only up to him. Somehow he pulled it. Then he himself understood it will not fit him. So he took it out and we were saying, Utar dos ko. So he said, in a very humble, very feeble voice, ये मैं घर ले जाऊं, मेरे छोटे भाई को आ जाएगा. Shall I take this home? It will be good for my young brother. Okay, take. Then, now our heart was wanting to give him also. From that pile of things, we have to now take one sweater which fits him. So somebody was saying, nahi hai. So we said, no, why? We have. We'll spend time to find out. We'll not do this work that jo kuch bhi haath mein aa gaya de diya. No, not like that. So we found one. That boy wore. Now it is too big for him. So hands came here, and it was near, a little near below the abdomen. So again his face became like this. So I called him. We were not getting out of the car. So I called him near the window and said कि कोई बात नहीं बेटा, देखो इसको ना मोड़ के पहनते हैं. So I folded it for him and folded the hands and folded this, and then told him that हमारे लिए भी ना जब बड़ा होता है ना हम ऐसे ही पहनते हैं, तो तुम भी पहनो. Oh, he was so happy and he went away, catching hold of that small sweater for his brother. So one day we went in the morning and we went near the flyover and everybody got. But one boy, he was coming behind us and he was wearing only a t-shirt like thing. He was holding a new packet of sweater. And we had taken a biscuit packet, that also he was holding. And he was showing the t-shirt and saying, मुझे कपड़ा दे दो मुझे, मेरे पास कपड़े नहीं है. Give me a cloth, give me a, there are Malaysians maybe, so I'm taking in Hindi also. So, मुझे कपड़ा दे दो. Even now it rings in my ear, even now. So, but it rings. Are we doing anything? At least pray. So this, we have to be like this. So a devotee prays for everybody. Sarva bhuta hite rataha. Sarva bhuta hite rataha. Krishna is telling. He has welfare for everybody. So in our evening prayers, Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha. Sarve santu niramayaha. When we chant this, my dear children, it should come from our heart and not stop there. Try to do whatever you can from near you. So many people around us, at least to our workers, at least to those who are associated and they are in a lower income group. they are in trouble, we should be giving them. Thinking of their sorrow, making them happy, how we can make them happy. So now, not only this, we must also know what are the lakshanas of a devotee. What kind of a devotee God likes. I might be feeling that I am very good devotee. I do fasting on such and such day. I go and do worship on such and such day. I chant so many things in the morning, and I do not even take breakfast before chanting all these things. All I may think that I am a great devotee. Does God think that I am a great devotee? So we must see what God feels about a devotee, the lakshanas, and we must try to have those qualities. In 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, these bhakta lakshanas are given. In Bhagavatam, in nearly every chapter it is given. What is given? The way of life of holy people. What are their qualities? So, yani eva sthitapratyasya lakshanani tani eva sadhanani. That is, your question, I said, is very good. By asking this question, we are taking up the sadhana to be a devotee. You understand? First of all, in Bhagavad Gita it is there. In 13th chapter also so many are there. So many, throughout Bhagavad Gita, there are so many qualities for any devotee to imbibe. You list them out and see whether you are fulfilling. At least if we try to fulfill few of them. So, yani eva sthitaprajnasya lakshanani, tani eva sadhanani. That is, whether you call it a true devotee, whether you call a sthitaprajna, whether you call a self-realized soul, their lakshanas, their qualities, those should become the sadhana for ordinary people. See, God, we may say, even anchored in God, I am discussing. And one thing is that we have to think everywhere God. But actually, what do we do to do that? To become a devotee. A devotee will very easily see God everywhere. What is that quality of a devotee who has reached that state where it becomes natural for him to see devotee, God everywhere? It becomes natural. It's a natural state. So those devotees, they have these kinds of qualities. Adveshta sarva bhutanam. Don't have any kind of dvesha feeling, bitter feeling, dislike feeling for anybody in this world. So those, acha, is it okay? Then, so we'll stop. 2 more questions I have, 2 more. One is Richa, 2 are, both are Richa. Okay. So we'll stop today. Sampurnam Jagadeva Nandanavanam Sarvepi Kalpadrumaha Gangam Vari Samastavari Nivaha Punyas Samasta Kriyaha Vacha Prakrita Samskrita Shruti Shiro Varanasi Medini Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishti Parabrahmani Sarvavasthitirasya Vastu Vishaya Drishti Parabrahmani. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. So, this moment onwards, you should be living this yatraiva yatraiva manomadiyam and yatraiva yatraiva shiromadiyam. Live this. Blessed.